on. Isn't that what friends are for?
Let's call it friends for life.
Lightning and thunder like you couldn't believe. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning,
We're
everybody.
standing here, and this is called Live Tea. Welcome to the 110th Santa Parade. I'm Shelley Dankoff along with Bob Larson on a rainy,
And in fact,
unfortunately, Friday morning.
You caught us talking about the weather. We were talking about how stormy it was earlier this morning, and I've done 24 of these parades. This is your third, and I can't remember when we've really had rain like this or even thunderstorms around the area. At least one good thing today, it's mild, and you're with us, and we're with you, and we hope that in the next hour and a half we can do our best to bring you the color commentary here of this parade, but there's a first again this year.
There is a first again this year. And another continuing thing, we're located out Southside Bank at the corner of Main and Adams in downtown Peoria. But the first this year is that we are simulcasting on WMBB 1470 AM, our sister station. So we welcome all of our listeners who are listening either along the parade route or who are driving in their cars and can't make it down here. The rain has let up. We are very lucky because the rain has stopped right now.
And speaking of weather, let's go to our ace weather guy on the street right now. What is that outfit, Chuck?
These are my lighted Christmas tree, kind of like my favorite Martian with a Christmas tree on each end. So I'll be wearing this and maybe my styrofoam reindeer antlers as well. But yeah, it looks like this is the worst it's going to get during the parade weather-wise here this afternoon. A big southerly wind, temperatures in the mid-50s, so it could be snow. Now, some people say I'd rather have it snowing in 32 than rain in 55. Well, you know, if that's the case, we would have gotten 10 inches of snow by now, so be careful for what you wish for. Anyway, it'll be a great day as far as we can get it, and this is about the worst it's going to get with a light rain. And I'll be down here on the street just giving a little commentary, talking to folks in the crowd and some of the folks in the parade coming by, so we'll be talking to you back and forth several times during the parade and have a little bit of insight what's going on down here. Bob and Shelley.
Thank you very much, Chuck. Yeah, we're still waiting to see the first units of the parade come along. And Bob Denton, the president of Southside Bank, would like to wish everyone out there the happiest of holiday season.
Yeah, this is the 40th year that Southside Bank and CBS 31 have come together to bring this telecast. And right now, Pat Ward, chairman of the board of Southside Bank, has a very important message.
Good morning. I'm Pat Ward, chairman of the board of the Southside Bank. The good folks at Southside Bank's 9 locations want to welcome you to the 1997 arrival of Santa Claus to our area. This year we celebrate the 110th consecutive time that Santa has arrived in our Tri-County area. Southside Bank and CBS 31 formed a partnership 39 years ago to bring the arrival of Santa Claus to our community on television. We're very proud of this partnership. Through this, thousands of Central Illinoisans have been able to see the Santa Parade and the arrival of Santa. After spending yesterday with our loved ones and friends, I would be remiss if I didn't say how important our families, friends, and communities are to all of us and all the things we have to be thankful for. This year, Southside Bank celebrated our 75th year as a locally owned bank. We offer 9 convenient locations and even 7-day-a-week banking at our Cub Food store. We have always prided ourselves on being a bank that listens to your needs on the local level, not by an 800 number. A local trust department, not one from out of town, and a loan department managed and staffed by people who live here and listen to your needs. Southside Bank, its directors, officers, and staff are very proud to be a part of our community. Now let's sit back and enjoy the parade and welcome Santa.
Very much. And, of course, here we are with a little bit of inclement weather, but I'll tell you, we're not going to let that dampen our spirit today, are we?
Absolutely not. This is the official kickoff to the holiday season, and this year Village Plantation is doing something special in connection with the 110th Santa Parade. They have put out a specially designed piece from FJ Designs, the creators of Cat's Meow. It's a full-color wood accessory. It's available at the 2 Village Plantation locations at Sheridan Village and Pekin Mall. A limited edition collector's piece. There
it is, right
on your screen. It shows downtown Peoria with Santa flying over the Murray Baker Bridge. Really quite beautiful. The limited edition collector piece is part of a special Peoria series, and it is only available at Village Plantation. So if you would like to get yourself one of those, head to one of the 2 Village Plantation locations. Quite the little collector's item to commemorate the 110th annual Santa Claus Parade.
Yes, and we should mention, as we do every year, that we have 3 cameras out here, poised strategically today, as they say. We have Kevin Wall down there at ground side. He's going to be taking some shots of youngsters and other folks that are around the parade route. Tina Bollinger over here, she's a little bit off the ground today. And the guy who's really off the ground and has been doing it for a long time, Jim Snyder's up in our bucket today. And we'd like to thank Whistler's Tree Service for providing us the bucket today so that he can get a kind of a bird's eye view.
Bird's eye view. And Jim, it's part of his tradition, too. He gets up, he looks forward to that every year, climbing up in the bucket no matter what the wind, weather. Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't catch Bob up in the bucket. We're about 10 feet off the ground here, and that's about high enough for Bob.
I guess it is, that's for sure. Well, Chuck, do you see anything coming from your vantage point yet?
I'm afraid not. I hear them, but I don't see them yet. By the way, Jim was asking me about lightning earlier today. I said, no, I don't think I have to worry about that. Maybe earlier this morning, but yeah, it looks like we have maybe a couple of minutes delay, but we hear them coming around the corner, so we don't see them yet. But we'll keep it a close eye out because from what I hear, getting very close right now, Bob Shelley.
Okay, thank you. You know, we should mention that the theme this year is the Holiday Spectacular, and Target Snowden is the Grand Marshal. He'll be riding in a Jim McComb convertible, and he's that adorable snowman out there. And by the way, a little plug, though, if you'd like to see more of Snowden, you can watch CBS 31 tonight. He'll be Snowden on Ice. That's at 7 o'clock, and that's a new musical featuring Scott Hamilton, Kurt Browning, Kenny Rogers, and that'll be tonight at 7 right here on CBS 31.
Yeah, Katerina Gordieva and her daughter will be also skating in that. And I saw some of the promos for that. It looks really cute. She skates with Snowden. So I want to see how a person skates with a snowman. Ought to be really interesting. And, of course, we should remind everyone that this is the longest continuous Santa parade in the country. The first parade was in 1888.
Wow.
And it was 8 blocks long. So we've come a long way. We
and a lot of
to
people
the streets
forget why they did that, too. And the reason was that they constructed a new bridge, and they wanted to kind of commemorate it, and so they started this parade. And now it's continued on and on and on. As we've said, and proudly for many years, this is the 110th, but it's the oldest continuing. Some parades were older, but they didn't last as long, and then they were brought back again. But this one's been going on for a long time, and we're proud to have brought it to you for the last 40 years.
And, of course, Block and Cool was the original being involved with this and doing everything. So, you know, that's where it started all those years ago. And Santa used to arrive in a variety of different ways.
Yeah,
he's come in on sleigh, but he's also come in on horse-drawn sleigh, horse-drawn carriage. Those were the olden days. That was pretty neat.
Yeah, and back in 1958, they finally brought in those balloon heads that we're also famous for. They were made of the they replaced the cartoon characters and the aerial bombs that were set off when Block and Cool ran the thing. In 1966, Santa arrived at the old train depot, which, of course, now houses the River Station restaurant. Just a little nostalgia. And 1967 was the first year when they started to put the lights up over at the courthouse. And, of course, that'll be part of You'll Like Peoria Walk tonight.
The walkabout, it begins at 7 o'clock tonight, so please come on down, you know, regardless of the weather. It's the kickoff of the holiday season. They light the lights around the courthouse. Really makes everything look beautiful, and you will be able to see all the floats in the parade today, check them out up close, and the merchants downtown and various other businesses have everything decorated, and they want you to come on down and see how things are shaping up for this holiday season.
That's right. All the festivities get underway. I believe the Metamora, the singers are going to be here at 5:30, and then at 6 o'clock they light the lights, and then once that happens, there will be at like 24 different locations around the downtown, singers and people that will be entertaining you. And so it's a chance for you to kind of mosey around the downtown area between 6:30 and 9 o'clock tonight.
Speaking of moseying around, let's see. Chuck, are you down there anywhere to be moseying around? I can spot the tree antennas from here. But, you know, it looks like everybody's waiting patiently. I think everybody's off to a slow start this morning.
It looks like it. I think the rain will do that to you. But, like I said, just a light sprinkle right now. That's about the best or worst we'll get here today. I'm standing right in the middle of the street. I still hear them, but I don't see them yet. But so it looks like we're probably about at least 5 minutes away or so, because I don't see anything much happening, but we hear them. So we'll have everything start. But like I said, things are a little bit slow, maybe because of the rain, but at least it's warm, right, guys?
Yeah, that is one definite thing. And remember, this year, again, the Southside Bank, as in many, many years past, is the sponsor of the parade, and they send their season's greetings out to everyone. 75 years strong in the financial industry, and the only locally owned bank in the area. That's Southside Bank, where plays host to us every year right outside their front door.
You stop in, say hi to Pat and all of his wonderful staff at any of their locations. Pat carrying on this tradition now, his dad, of course, before him, and the Ward family has been very involved and very interested in keeping the Santa Claus tradition going in Central Illinois, and for that we thank them very, very much. So why don't you stop in when you can and say hello to Pat and all the great staff and tell them how much you appreciate the telecast. And today, the simulcast, because our good friends on WMBD Radio, we're glad to have all them aboard today. We will do our best to not only show you the pictures, but also describe them in detail as much as well.
And we have quite a number of marching units, not only the floats, but the bands that have come in from
Right.
around the area. And, of course, you've got horses. No parade will be complete without horses and fire trucks and things like that. And a few interesting little things this year. What do you remember over the years, all the years you've been doing this? What sticks out in your mind as some of the big points?
I do remember that back in 1980, as we stood here on this stage, we had about 2 to 4 inches of snow.
Oh, my.
And, yeah. I also remember one time when the station was still located downtown, and many of those that are my age or maybe a little bit younger will remember when WMBD radio and television were located right across from where the Civic Center is right now. We had our own marquee. And that year, the wind chill, one of the years, back in the late 70s, was like 10 below.
Oh.
So not only did our crew get cold, but so did all of us. It was a pretty cold day, and also, of course, the hardy folks that were on the street got pretty chilled. I also remember a couple of times, frankly, when we were almost in shirt sleeves out here. The sun was out. It was 60 degrees. I mean, it was really nice. Those are the exceptions rather than the rule. Yes. But today is almost that warm. We're in the mid-50s, according to the Southside Bank temperature here.
According to the bank.
Yeah.
But didn't you tell me there was a couple years going out on the ledge to set up for the parade when the station was downtown?
Oh, yeah.
And about slipped and went off because there was coatings of ice.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, you know me and heights, right?
He doesn't like them.
Yeah. After we left downtown in 1977 and no longer could go on the marquee of our place, Bergner's was nice enough, the old Bergner's building down here, to put us up in the marquee. And the night before, we had about 3 inches of ice fell. And getting me up there was almost more difficult than getting the cameras and the equipment up there. I thought I would never come back down again. But we've had some interesting times. We've had all kinds of weather, but it's been a great tradition. And that's when people have written me. They've said that's the thing that they've enjoyed most, either watching the telecast or coming down themselves. They've been doing it when they were a child. Now they're taking their kids or maybe their grandkids.
And speaking of tradition, there are a couple of people watching at home today that we want to say a special hello to. Edward Monroe. We know you're out there watching.
Yes.
Edward cannot be with us downtown today, but he is watching our telecast and waiting patiently to see the start of the parade. Edward, your family says hello, and they love you very much, and their thoughts are with you. So we say hi to Edward Monroe. And we also want to say hi to Jan Swanson, another very loyal viewer out there who gave me a call. We have an interesting little tidbit that she passed along about one of the Richwoods captains for their dance team. So we'll tell you about that a little bit later on. But Jan gave us a call and told us
about a little bit on that.
We'll
wait until the band gets it.
The loyal viewers, because there are people that watch every single year, right, Chuck?
Yeah, and there's some who are just starting as well. Now, Bob, before we have the parade start, I want you to tell the story about the Kleenex blowing off into the crowd. I want to hear that story.
Yeah, well, that one was one where I spread the cold germs all over. That was one of those windy days, trying to get myself all ready for the parade, and unfortunately, some poor soul caught the thing. Hopefully, they disposed of it immediately. But yeah, I've had everything just about happen to me out here. But
I want to talk to a couple of folks here. Hey, what's your name?
Christopher, but I'm not Christopher anymore. Trent.
All right. Well, where are you from? You're from Peoria?
Yeah.
You go to school yet?
Yeah.
Do you shave yet? Okay. Hi, who's this?
This is Devin Curry from Watseka, Illinois.
Watseka. Oh, well, hi. How are you? Big bird there. Hey, what's your name?
Daphne.
I lost my tree limbs here. Where are you from? From Peoria? Okay. Good to have you. Are you looking forward to Santa Claus coming? All right. What do you want this year for Christmas?
Christmas tree.
You want a Christmas tree? Well, that would be good. So, anyway, we'll talk to many more kids because that's what the parade is all about, seeing what they think about Christmas and this parade. Bob Shelley?
Thanks, Chuck. And we are starting to see flashing lights. They're about a block away from us right now.
And, for those on radio, we can also hear the siren, so that's always a good sign.
And, of course, leading the way, the first people you would see coming into your picture and that you can hear on the radio, members of the Police Benevolent Association from the Peoria Police Department. They get to step off the parade today, as they do every year, to lead the way, the fine men and women in blue that protect us.
Even though they've been doing it every year, this is the first year that they've been under the leadership of John Stenson. And we congratulate John on his promotion as Chief of Police. Rather emotional, John Stenson. He worked his way up through the ranks, and so this year John is head of the police department. But they always do the honors each and every year, and hopefully this is a good omen. The rain has stopped.
Yes, I think maybe they just said, that's it, we're not going to put up with it. It's out of here.
They'll ticket somebody, maybe Chuck Collins, if he doesn't watch it down there with this weather. But at least right now it is cooperating. We want to mention again that Southside Bank, 75 years strong with 9 convenient locations. In fact, we're standing in front of one of them, wishing you and yours a great holiday season. You know, Shelley, there's going to be some tough problems for the judges today, too. They're going to have some difficult decisions to make. We have music, showmanship, and marching in the band competition. And, of course, there's just a multitude of different units in this parade, and they will be judged accordingly as well.
So they do compete for prizes, and it's a prestigious thing for these bands and for the units that make the floats. They compete, they really want to win, and every year when they send in their little information, they write if they've won first place in the Santa Parade and how many years they've won and everything. So, and they really do. People put a lot of hard work into their floats, into their marching routines, because this is a highlight for many of them on the winter season. I mean, think about it. You don't get many parades in the dead of winter.
You know, one time they were asking about stories. One quick thing here. Back in 1976, unfortunately, 18 floats were vandalized, cost thousands of dollars. But you know what? Thanks to a number of volunteers, the Jaycees and some Bradley students, they raised the money to repair the floats. And thankfully, in the last 21 years, we haven't had that kind of a problem. But, you know, it did happen, but the community rallied around.
And there have been some new floats in recent years, and we will be telling you about those as we go along today, that there are some new floats, because every year they like to spruce up some of the old ones and like to add a few of the new ones. Okay, so the Peoria Police Benevolent has arrived right down in front of our reviewing stand, and right behind them, Peoria Firefighters Local 50 with the big truck.
That's right, and I don't know if I've told this story before, but last year I had a up-close and personal visit from the fire department. Unfortunately, I did have a house fire, so I know what it's all about, and my hat's off to these fine people, because they just did a spectacular job. Thankfully, everything went okay at my home, but you know, they put in a lot of hours, and we really want to wish them well. They're waving to the crowd here. Of course, a lot of the youngsters.
Children with them. I mean, that's what this parade is about, the kids who are in here. So there's a lot of people who come along every year and wait to see this. And the fire department is one unit you definitely can hear. You don't have to see them to know they are around.
You know, one thing, I got here about 10 o'clock. Not too many people at the time, but now that the rain has stopped, the parade is finally underway. This parade route, at least at our location, which is at Main and Adams, is really at this point pretty well filled at this point. So a lot of folks have come down at the last minute, probably wanted to wait.
Make sure. But this parade is about tradition, because people want to be here. They look forward to it. The day after Thanksgiving, it's a family thing. They get down here, and they want to see Santa arrive the old-fashioned way.
And you can see as we pan the crowd, there doesn't matter what age, they're all interested.
Quiet bunch, aren't they? Peoria Firefighters.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Local 50.
Good
there they go.
Looks like Santa's even up there in the fire truck with...
Coming behind them, next one's coming up, the American Legion, post number 2. The American Legion has been in the Santa Claus Parade since 1923. That is 74 years strong.
Yeah, and we really do want to commend them for being here. We really appreciate their presence again today.
And AMVET's Post 64 Color Guard. You can see the Veterans Organization, which supports veterans, one of the largest posts in the state.
Boy, that
of course,
is
followed also by the Peoria Composite Squadron, which is a U.S. Air Force auxiliary, which promotes aerospace education, emergency services, and cadet programs.
And you know what? And our friends on radio can also hear the first band of the 10 that will be in our parade today. This is the Havana High School Marching Ducks from Havana, Illinois. 65 high school students. They placed third at parades in Pittsfield and Canton. And what do you say as they stop in front of our podium here? Let's give them a listen.
In their red and black and white uniforms, color guard unit, honor guard, and of course a band of 65 strong.
Yeah, they do some nice music, and as I said, we're just pleased that they could come back. This is not only a Peoria Santa Parade, this is a Central Illinois Santa Parade. So we have bands and communities participating from all over this part of the state, and we really appreciate them being here.
And as a former drum major and band member, I can tell you, these kids appreciate, the drum majors appreciate that they're not freezing in their shorts, and the instrument players are appreciating their lips aren't freezing to the instruments today.
That's right. Coming into view, I mentioned this earlier, that our Grand Marshal this year is Snowden, and as we said, you can see more of Snowden tonight on ice on CBS 31. And Snowden is in a convertible. Boy, he's got the red and white banner there with beautiful bouquet, waving at the crowd, of course, in his colorful outfit. Today he's got almost looks like a lavender scarf there, waving to our crowd and to the crowds on the side of the streets here, as many youngsters and oldsters alike are, of course, anticipating watching that special tonight on CBS 31.
And we should remind everyone that a lot of the banners that are being carried in the parade today are being carried by high school Key Club members from Peoria Heights, Notre Dame, and Woodruff High Schools. Once again, everybody working together to accomplish a common goal.
We should mention these Key Club members also have on bright blue sweatshirts here today, and they all waving at the crowd, having a good time out here. Oh, Mayor Greaves is here.
Here comes Mayor Greaves, and there's Congressman Ray LaHood. We have
hey,
Chris
and,
Duncan.
Chris Duncan is here.
We have Alice
several of the council members. Hi, Mayor. Hi.
Coming along, marching today.
Hi, folks. How you doing?
Behind them, the Gingerbread House, Caterpillar and Pace unit. Don't you dare take a bite out of this holiday treat. It's a 7-foot gingerbread house. Hansel, Gretel, and many other nursery rhyme characters accompany this unit. The children are Jake, Morgan, and Melissa on the float, plus some Key Club members. The house is constructed out of wood and candies made from various materials.
And various colors, too. I might mention
delicious.
Purple and green, and ooh, it looks good enough to eat, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Okay. And right now, we also have several
We have our
vehicles.
Muhammad Shrine unit
that's
that's coming along. Muhammad Shrine, the Color Garden Shrine units, and some older cars. We have our parade marshal, Paul Sutphin, is leading the way for the Muhammad
Hi,
Shrine unit today. And you can see some of the older cars that they use.
You know, I love that. It
pride.
says 68 right here, 1968. And, you know, they start talking about some of these cars as being classics and antiques. And when you're older than the cars, you know, you start feeling a little bit old.
Well, the Antique Car Club was started in 1990 by the past potentate Howard Bentheim, Bill Bycroft, and the late Ed Fritzler, and they had 20 charter members. It received the Temple Charter in 1991. So they began this about 7 years ago, and then every year they bring out these wonderful old, wonderfully restored cars that are in
there's
great
Floyd Nolan
shape.
with his 68 Cadillac Coupe that just went by.
And a 1951 Ford pickup with Mac McPherson. Look at what great shape that's in.
Boy, it sure is.
And we have a 1961 Imperial with Russell Deal, a peach color. You don't see many peach-colored cars anymore. And of course, this is the neat unit. The kids absolutely love the Elbon scooters. They come in from the Galesburg area. But the director's staff is in them today. Look at that. They just absolutely... and this is another unit that you can always hear. These guys, they have to be big kids, I think. They ride these things around, buzzing the streets.
You know, they do so much good throughout the year for the community, but you're right. I think this gives them, you know, they're doing so many good things. This gives at least those three guys a chance to have a little fun along with the rest of us today.
And then the hospital van, the Muhammad Temple Hospital van, they are used to transport patients for treatment to Shriners Hospitals for Children in Chicago and the Shriners Burn Institute in Cincinnati, Ohio. And this is provided at no cost to the patient. So, again, hats off to the Muhammad Temple and their hospital van.
Yeah, they have two actually in here, one red van and one white van in here, but waving to the crowd. And, of course, everybody, hi there, how are you doing today? Of course, everybody gives great respect to the Shriners for all the great things they do. And I'll tell you what, whether you're in Peoria or you're up in my hometown of Morris, Illinois, you'll see Shriners in parades.
Absolutely.
They make the rounds and try to help out everybody wherever they can.
And here comes our scooter unit from out of the Galesburg area. They have 8 members. 5 of them are with us today. And they participate in about 15 to 20 parades a year. And they get out there. That always amazes me. They can ride these little red scooters so well. And their hats don't fall off.
Even when the street's wet, too.
I know. That's pretty good. I'm impressed.
Oh, and the old fire truck. What would be the Shriners without the old fire truck, too? Boy, this goes back a few years. There they are waving at everybody.
Fire patrol. And here come the clowns. What can you say? The clowns are coming next.
Okay, and of course, look at it. They're down there right now working the crowd, so to speak. The youngsters, of course, want, outside of maybe Santa Claus, would like to say hello to those clowns down there. And as you can see, they're yelling at each other. Some of those clowns have got, that would do Dennis Rodman proud. Look at some of those.
Absolutely. Purple hair. I don't know, Bob. I think purple hair, you ought to try that tonight on to see how that works, because that's a different look for everybody.
Well, we want to mention that Southside Bank, of course, is the proud sponsor of the 40th, for the 40th year with CBS 31. This is the 110th parade, but they've been providing coverage of this telecast for the last 40 years. And, of course, Southside Bank wishes you and your family a joyous holiday season. 75 years strong in the financial industry. And, by the way, the only locally owned bank in the area. And we really thank them as well, Pat Ward and his great group, for sponsoring our telecast and our simulcast today on WMBD 1470. Glad to have all those folks along as well.
And the clowns continue to wind their way down there. I don't know. Here's a clown with an umbrella, a different kind of umbrella. He's coming over to Chuck. Here we go, Chuck. I don't know if this umbrella's going to work.
Hey, what's your name? Justo. That umbrella's not going to work, Justo. What's up with that?
Well, you know why there's holes in it, don't you?
No.
Because I can see when it stopped raining.
Is that right?
Doggone it. You want to try it?
Oh, that's right. I can see when it stopped raining.
Okay.
Very good.
It works, don't it?
Nice hair. Bozo wants it back by 5. Shelley, Bob?
Okay, Chuck, it's too bad your hair isn't that color. Of course, you don't have as much hair to color anymore. Okay, we won't get into that.
Coming along next, everybody can hear them coming, the Richwoods High School Marching Knights and Royalettes dance team. Under the direction of Mark Jurasek, the Royalettes coach. They were married last year. A little bit of tidbit. Last year, married a year ago tomorrow, the day after this parade last year. 130 band members, 28 Royalettes. And this is that little tidbit Jan Swanson told me. One of the Royalettes captains, Andrea Brokaw, marched in the Macy's Day Parade yesterday. She flew in from New York this morning, just an hour ago. She said she wasn't missing the Santa Parade. So let's give a listen to the Richwoods Knights. So big.
Yeah.
They've outgrown their uniforms, so to speak.
They're a whole block long here.
Our viewers watching on TV will notice that there's kind of a mishmash of uniforms going on here. The band has gotten so big, they have new uniforms on order. So they will be all matched together next year at this time. But right now, they're making do with what they have, and I think they look great.
They do. Their school colors are forest green and white, but today they have to rely on blue jeans.
And sounding quite festive.
They sure do. Of course, you were in a band, so you know, I mean, when you have a big band like this, it shows how successful the program is, so they should be very proud of how big their band is, and next year I know we're going to see brand new uniforms.
And the dance team is looking great, and we trust Andrea's out there somewhere, got back from the Macy's Day Parade. I give her credit for just for doing it. She left New York like at 5 o'clock this morning. That's called commitment to the Santa Parade.
Speaking of looking great, here comes Cinderella from Lakeview Museum. And, of course, Cinderella's fairy godmother has once again cast her spell for a happy ending. What? Oh, a love tap? Oh, I don't know, Termite, if I want a love tap. Oh, my gosh.
The clown is interrupting Cinderella.
I've still got a lot of parade to go here.
I think so.
I'd be afraid of his love tap, but I'll tell you what, Cinderella is in a beautiful carriage there. Beautiful. It's with the horses.
28 feet long, made of styrofoam and fiberglass, the fully upholstered interior with 2 adorable children inside.
We have David and we have Kurt, along with many of their friends, created this unit in 1996. And, boy, what a beautiful unit in the blue clock. We have the horses are decorated in kind of a cream color and also a...
Pink plumes. Gotta love it.
Pink plumes, that's right.
And now we have the horse-drawn carriage to remind us about Yule Like Peoria, the walkabout that is scheduled to start at 6 o'clock tonight at the Peoria County Courthouse with a lighting ceremony. Then there's the open house along the riverfront all night long. The event is free, and this is the 6th year for Yule Like Peoria, and let's hope the weather does just like it's doing now and stops raining.
That's right. And for those of you that enjoy country music, Cowboy Christmas. And Duke Energy sponsoring this particular unit coming up here. Wade Curry, Mary Rakestraw, and several other Pace friends have created this new float. Now, the stagecoach was built by Scott Barnes and his father, Skip, from Indiana. Now, the Cowboys and Cowgirls, of course, represent some of the old and some of the new Western-type stories. The red Ford truck that is proceeding and pulling the float is another tradition for the 110th Santa Parade. And Cowboy Christmas was once the gold Cinderella carriage that had been in the parade like for 20 years. But then the horses are all about the remain from the old float, so then they kind of reworked it, and now today we're using it for a different reason.
And the Barnes family children are sitting on there. Catherine, Michael.
We just got shot.
Oh, my goodness, we're getting shot by a cowboy. Cheer America. Look at this. In their black and white with gold pom-poms.
Wow.
You can hear this group. Little girls look like they're from about age, I'd say 5 up through junior high age out there with their pom-poms, walking along. Quite the enthusiastic crowd on this Friday morning.
That's one thing about children. They don't mind no matter what the weather is.
No, they don't. The Dare Bear, Peoria County Sheriff's Department, Heartland Dare. They have the 1990 Pontiac Firebird following the Dare Bear. The vehicle was seized from a drug dealer. It is now used by the Peoria County Sheriff's Department Drug Abuse Resistance Education, or DARE, officers.
Boy, that's a extra large red shirt, too.
I think so. Well, the Dare Bear kind of needs, little oversized red shirts to go on the Dare Bear.
And there's the car. It is a beautiful red automobile that, as they said, was one of those that was seized. And now, of course, they've got their emblem on there to remind everybody what they're all about. I think every school child around this area certainly knows the DARE program. I know my daughter, when she went through school.
Very successful program.
Yeah, very successful. And they come out to the schools and make kids aware of the dangers of drugs.
We now have the Zinzerbruns Chiropractic Clinic and Commercial Irrigation and Turf sponsoring the St. Vincent de Paul Girl Scouts Junior Troop number 79, Brownie Troop number 379. This is the third year for the juniors to be in the parade, the first year for the Brownies to be in the parade. Welcome, girls. Angels of St. Vincent de Paul wish everyone a blessed and safe holiday
And, of course,
season.
they're all dressed up as angels.
Their little halos and little white costumes. It's just and their little wings. What would an angel be without little gold wings?
That's right. And they're waving to the crowd. And, of course, they have the little bit of gold to kind of set off the whole thing. So it's a very beautiful unit. And the kids are just smiling, having a great time waving to the crowd this afternoon as we continue our coverage of the parade here on CBS 31 and WMBD AM radio.
Next band up for us, the Manual High School Marching Band under the direction of George Graves Jr., with Sarah Martindale as the flag corps sponsor, Christy Hubbard as the pom-pom sponsor, and Tammy Kemp is the drum major. The school's colors are orange and black. This is the band's 51st appearance in the Peoria Santa Parade. Let's give them a listen.
Like all the bands, Shelley, we should mention that they are award winners. They've won enough awards to the length of your arm. They have a list as long as your arm. 1993, 95, 96, 97, Morton Pumpkin Festival Parade, first place in the Peoria Santa Parade in 86 and 87, second place in 91, and the list goes on and on.
And, of course, they are joined by members from the school's Junior ROTC, ROTC program at the school, marching in front of and behind the band. Not the biggest band you will see or hear today, but they certainly put out quite a good sound and look great in their orange and black uniforms, preceded by four of the flag corps members. And, of course, their pom-pom squad following behind them. And from director George Graves Jr. and all the members of the band, they wish everyone a very happy holiday season.
Yeah, as I said, and George has been the band director for a number of years and has done an outstanding job. And obviously, by all the awards they've won, it's pretty obvious. And we're just proud to have Manual High School as part of our 110th Santa Parade today here in downtown Peoria, where right now, no rain and it's 56 degrees and not bad out there. Oh, they're even getting a few treats. The ROTC throwing a few treats to the crowd.
And they have quite the ROTC program there.
Right,
I mean,
they sure do. That's where it started around this area.
Absolutely, and they are in their precision marching, going past our reviewing stand.
Holding the American flag, the red, white, and blue, Old Glory. Is there...
Training for the future.
You can hear them as they march right on past us there. Chuck Collins is standing by there. And, Chuck, how are the crowd seem to be enjoying the parade today?
Yeah, brave souls, Bob, but like we said, it's so warm out here, it doesn't feel that bad. Of course, some people would rather have snow and a little bit colder, but yeah, everybody's prepared. Some folks are going inside under the awnings, others have umbrellas, so it looks like a good crowd despite the weather.
Hey, Chuck, look around your left shoulder there. With these warm temperatures you predicted, what about this guy?
Yeah, well, see, now if this guy would have given us snow, we would have had about 10 inches. Right now, we've had about an inch of rain.
Frosty would probably like that, though, because Frosty the Snowman watches out for the snow. He's hoping to stay around a long time this winter, but to stay around, he needs a little bit colder temperatures.
Yeah, if he starts melting, it's your fault, Chuck.
Wait a minute.
Watch as the magic comes alive in the eyes of the children as they watch. And this year, the new dusting of petal paper to freshen up for the parade. And Frosty's friends are from Girl Scout Troop 291, helping lead the way there. Now we have the clubs at River City Holiday Sports Spectacular, a spectacular display of sports activities with a holiday twist, all offered at the clubs at River City. One of the top 10 youth gymnastics facilities in the nation has a wide variety of youth activities offered. So they're tumbling and twirling in their red and white uniforms down the road.
Yeah, their float there has got the, of course, the silver lining there on the side, and of course they've got red and they have green, all the traditional Christmas colors, even some pink ribbons up there.
And
of
a
course,
basketball hoop and a soccer hoop. So
they're showing us all the activities, right?
That's right. It's never too early to get yourself physically fit.
And they're showing us, a couple of them are doing flips right in front of our stage right
than
here.
I have. Up next, we have the Peoria area telephone retirees with the old lady in the shoe.
And they are also one of the older units in this parade. Ever since I've been doing this parade, and before that, I can remember them being part of this. And they, of course, sponsor the old lady in the shoe because of the connection that the telephone retirees have to shoes. As you know, they give a lot of them away. And we've done many stories over the years about all the great work they do, especially this time of the year, to make sure that all the youngsters in the area do have nice shoes. So we really tip our hats to these great retirees who I say, just done an outstanding job of providing shoes to the community.
And everybody's waving on their beautiful float with the kids, tons of kids from around the area.
That's 22 foot long, too.
Yes.
And so many children, as you know, the rhyme goes, she didn't know what to do. Well, today, there's a lot of children on this float. It's decorated in, of course, the traditional red and green colors. And the children sitting in the green shoe there. Really big shoe today for those
kids. And there's
kids.
the old lady, but she doesn't look too old to me. She looks quite young with her cap and glasses.
Especially with all those children, too, right?
Yeah, really.
Holding up well.
I think she's smart. She's up at the top of the shoe and letting all the kids be down below her.
And they're having a great time today.
One of our horse units from J.R. Stables out of Metamora. They offer Western and English riding lessons with 2 outdoor and 1 indoor arena. And look, at the horses have little antlers on and Santa hats, and they have red blankets and green blankets, a little bit of garland and bows.
Oh, they look.
The riders are in red Santa hats, looking very festive for this time of the year. Everybody, and it's always amazing to me how well controlled these horses are. They bring them down the streets and they do great.
Boy, they march. You can see the precision marching that they do, and of course, they just every year brighten the crowd. People wave at them, but it's funny to see the horses with the Santa hats too.
And you can't miss the Peoria Chiefs. You've got the inflated speed pitch machine. Records the speed of a pitched ball by radar. It's very popular at the game with the kids. We've got kids out in front. We've got Redbird out throwing.
Yep. Oh, and there's Rocky right there.
Rocky.
Oh,
he's going to get you. Oh,
I missed
it, Bob. Missed the candy.
I don't think I can play for the Chiefs. I didn't catch very good here.
But
I did catch one,
Mr.
though.
Trash. What would the Chiefs be without Mr. Trash running around?
That's right. Well, we wish them well this year, too. Rocky and Pete and the whole gang, as they're always...
It's
whoa,
a big
look at this
baseball
float.
hat.
Holy
It's a big
smokes.
baseball hat. You can't miss this. An inflated. Imagine an inflated baseball hat.
Kids would love to get in there and play.
And you can hear them, too. They got some Christmas music going.
Well, we hope they do have a successful season. There's Pete down there walking. I knew he was around there somewhere.
Pete, of course. It's warm enough for Pete. He thinks it's Florida.
Peter, have a great year. Good to see you. Thank you. You have a great season now, okay? Pete Banakin, ladies and gentlemen, looking dapper.
As always, the Illinois Valley Figure Skating Club Holidays on Ice coming up next. Have a very IVFSC Christmas. Skaters are enjoying a day on the pond while others warm their hands by the fire. The Illinois Valley Figure Skating Club just recently hosted the largest non-qualifying and qualifying regional competition in the history of the Upper Great Lakes region. Over 650 individual skaters, along with coaches and families, flocked to Owen Center for this one. Throughout the week, they had aspirations of qualifying for Midwestern. It was quite a successful event. They had a great time.
That's right. Beautiful float with the artificial snow and several Christmas trees decorated there, and the children, of course, sitting on them as well.
Now the Peoria High School ROTC, the cadets from the Air Force Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps. This is their second year together and their second Santa Parade. And they are leading the way for the Peoria High School Marching Lions. 96-member band and pom-poms and baton twirlers, along with the Air Force ROTC unit. The drum majors are John Dodd and Shayla Fleming. Baton twirlers are Carrie Stark and Rachel Bill, and the director is Rudy Higgins. Let's give them a listen. Look, they have black tuxedos with white stripes down the legs, red cummerbunds and bow ties, looking fantastic. The pom-pom squad deck out in their maroon windsuits with their red Santa hats.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this is my wife's alma mater.
Yes, you would be remiss.
We won't say what year she was there, but...
That's probably good, too. Another great sounding band lining the parade route today.
I'd also be remiss if I didn't mention that I believe I'm right in saying this is the oldest public high school in Illinois.
Yes, you are correct in that respect. Holding up the fine tradition, the folks at Peoria High, under the direction of Rudy Higgins.
Of course, we want to mention also and acknowledge the Brownie Girl Scout Troop 373 from Germantown Hills Elementary School, but also coming into view right now, as you can see, Christmas under the sea. Even the ocean floats celebrate the holiday season. The mermaid, Lynn Weeks, sits in a 7-foot shell created 4 years ago by Robin Barnes and Pat O'Donnell. Laura Burdess designed and made the lovely costume that you see there. And let's describe, this is a beautiful...
She looks like a mermaid.
boat.
A mermaid in a pink shell and lots of mermaid characters. We got the crab. We've got, various fish.
And about every color you can imagine in
and
terms
pirates.
of costumes. The Pirates escorting this floater from Norwood School. Hi there, the Cub Scout Pack 26. And you may have noticed...
sponsored by Ameritech, and we want to welcome Ameritech as a new sponsor this year.
That's right, and you may have also noticed a new fish swimming around in that pool. And, boy, the mermaid looks beautiful in that lavender and white that she's in. The shell and ship are constructed out of a wood frame with wire and plaster mesh.
Wonderful. Coming up next, we have the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the Mormon Handcart Company. The Mormon Handcart Company is a commemoration of their exodus from Nauvoo, Illinois, to Salt Lake City back in 1847. Mormon pioneers walked 1,000 miles to find a safe refuge to worship God. So imagine that, walking 1,000 miles, pulling the handcarts.
Yeah, a lot of kids today think it's a big deal if you walk 4 or 5 blocks.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. This would teach you a new appreciation.
Okay.
Coming up next, we have our Queen's Court. Pace and the Journal Star. The Journal Star is crowning their 1997 essay contest winners as they join the Crown Float this year. Students from District 150 enter essays, and then the kids who are riding on the float are this year's winners. The 15-foot crown was created 5 years ago. Beautiful snow fairy characters and unicorns are key club members from Woodruff High School. Of course, it's being pulled by a Jim McComb vehicle and driven by National Air Guard volunteers. The Journal Star has been a sponsor of this float for the past 5 years. And they thank everyone for their support. And they encourage more businesses to participate.
Yeah. Again, lavender and pink. The young ladies are dressed in white. Just a beautiful float here today, and as I said, I'm just thankful that it is not raining out here for that. There used to be a TV show that back in the 50s called Queen for Day, but at least today we have our own Queen's Court for the day in our parade.
And our next band is making its way to the reviewing stand, Woodruff High School Marching Warriors. Students are preparing to attend the Peach Bowl over the holiday break. They will be spending New Year's in Atlanta, Georgia. Gotta love that. They've worked hard. They deserve the award, and they've earned the money to go there, and that takes a lot of effort on everybody's part.
I was going to say,
to get these kids down to Atlanta to show up to compete in the Peach Bowl.
Woodruff High School has been one of those bands around our area that has done a lot of traveling, and they're really quite a band, award winners, all of them. And right now, let's just give them a listen.
Flag Corps members decked out in their black flowing pants with white shirts, and then the red suspenders and red bow ties. The band, of course, in their blue and gold uniforms with white jackets, and Santa hats all around.
Yeah,
everyone.
that's right. Everybody has a Santa hat. Well, we wish them well as they head south over the holidays. I'm sure this is going to be fun for they and, of course, the band director, and hopefully things will go fine. I know they've, as I said, done outstanding work throughout the years, so we wish them well.
Up next, we have Rocky and the Peoria Rivermen. Here comes Rocky walking around. You can see Rocky. He's the mascot for the Peoria Rivermen, East Coast Hockey League team. He appears at the home games. Come on, see him. Rocky likes to visit with all of the kids and to see you. And I think there's Rocky Jr.
Yeah, and a green convertible coming down the street, waving at everybody.
Jr.
Next, coming up, children's train from Sprinkman's Insulation, and we have a red truck pulling a beautiful, actually 2 units here, because it's a train on 2 different floats. They're decorated with brilliant red, and the train, of course, has a wreath on the front on the engine. We have a black and white and red train with the gray cars.
And kids from Friends of Pace, Pleasant Valley students, Girl Scout troop are also on there. And there's Julie Ohl from our own WMBD promotions director.
I thought she looked a little familiar.
And we're looking to see everybody else. All the kids are enjoying themselves in the beautifully painted, and there's her daughter Taylor is on the float. Taylor looking very cute. All the kids are waving along, and they're sponsored by Sprinkman's Insulation.
And we want to welcome our friends not far from the station, Von Steuben School, the Von Steuben Vikings. Been in existence, well, looks like since 1937. And of course, Von Steuben is a middle school. This is a junior high group of cheerleaders. School colors are royal blue and gold, and they are the Vikings. The group consists of elite tumblers, 6th through 8th grade. They will be competing in the ICCA regional competition in January. And, of course, we wish them well. And, boy, look at the colorful costumes they have.
Santa hats again all around, and everybody, and you can hear them. That's the enthusiasm from the kids and everybody. It's just wonderful. They really are up for this parade. And who wouldn't be if you were being chased by an elk-mobile?
That's right.
You know, I'd be enthusiastic, too. Here comes the elk-mobile from Wildlife Prairie Park. It's a full-size replica of a bull elk. If you want to see the real thing, you have to head out to the park soon. Discover the animals that called Illinois home at the unique Natural Heritage Park. It's a wonderful place to take kids.
It is. And if you haven't been there, it's only about 10 miles west of the city, so it's a good time to take your kids out there and enjoy that. Well, contact Southside Bank for all your investment needs. They can assist you with mutual funds, annuities, stocks, bonds, you name it. It's at Southside Bank, and we're in front of one of their locations right downtown.
In downtown Peoria. And we go up the river for our next band, the Henry Senachwine High School Marching Mallards, under the direction of Robert Eckert. This marks the 17th year for the Marching Mallards in this parade. The band is decked out in their red, black, and white uniforms. The Flag Corps dressed in their white satin outfits with sequin accents. Drum majors are Josie Fansler and Jessica Murdian. They're sporting white uniforms with red accents. The flag captain is Becky Davis. Let's give them a listen.
They've been with us for several years. They, as I said, a fine band up the river, and in fact, Mike McClellan has one of his weather stations at their school, doesn't he?
We talk about Henry all the time when we check and see how the weather is. I'm sure it's damp up there just like it is here. But hey, we're very thankful. The rain has held up, and really the crowds continue to grow to come and watch the rest of the parade. And who are they seeing next? They are seeing the Peoria Park District Police Department. The Park District is being led by the Park Police Color Guard and Explorer Post number 900. Also leading the parade are Park Police officers Chief Robert James and Officer Walt Shields.
And, of course, the youngsters are dressed out in, as everybody has been today, in their red and green outfits. And, of course, their Santa hats on with a colorful sign that says Happy Holidays from the Peoria Park District Police. Of course, the children in the police car waving to the crowds, everybody waving. They even have white gloves on. Boy, they're really coming spiffy here today. We really appreciate
another one of our honor guard units.
That's right, here
sending
today.
Holiday greetings from the Peoria Park District, and they bring along Winter's Playground. Sounds like a great idea on this Friday. Penguins are happily at play, enjoying all the spectacular fun Winter's Playground has to offer. Whether you're young or old, penguin or person, the Peoria Park District makes your winter spectacular.
And, of course, that winter playground, look at that, on the white van that's bringing the unit down the street, has a wind-up, like a key wind-up that's actually moving on top of the truck. And then, of course, we have the house. Oh, look, and the penguin's coming out of the chimney.
Why not?
So it's a motorized or a mechanized unit with the red house. It has a wreath on the front door, white shingles with the snow. Of course, no, that's not white shingles. It's white snow on the shingles there. That'd be kind of unusual. And, boy, that is a pretty float.
And a penguin skating. How often do you get to see a penguin skate?
That's right.
Gotta love that.
And some of Santa's helpers walking alongside, too. So they put a lot of effort into that. Really tipped of the hat to the Park District with a mechanized float in our parade here today. But that is really something.
Another one of the Park District units are the Mule Team with Gus and Goldie.
Aha.
Not the outdoor swimming weather, but Gus and Goldie want to remind you about swimming at any time. They're wishing all a spectacular holiday season. Mules' names are Daisy and Nellie, and Gary Shoup is the driver. Look at that wonderful wood wagon with kids, with antlers, and Gus and Goldie on the back end. We got one of the
Brings back
tigers.
some memories for a lot of those of us that are a little bit older anyway. But a lot of fun today as the youngsters waving at the crowd here today at Gus and Goldie.
And it
as they
reminds
go
you
by.
there's plenty to do at the Peoria Park District all year round.
That's right. Now from Fire 97 with the Elmwood High School cheerleader and pom-pom squad. They are coming into view. And, you know, this fire truck, Shelley, is a 1954 fire engine pumper truck. And it is called, this is another thing, it's called an antique 1954. As I said, when I start talking antique,
know, Bob,
and I'm older than the fire truck.
But that little tidbit about this, the tank holds 700 gallons of water. There's a gas pump motor on the front end. Hoses connect to it for the water, so there's no need for a hydrant. And there's Rob Rose sitting there talking to some of the Fire 97 staff. They're trying to compete with us to see who can be louder on the air at this moment.
Thank you, Rob. Good to see you.
And the Elmwood cheerleaders. I think the Elmwood cheerleaders should be leading the way. I think they got this backwards, you know.
Well, our friends from Paws, of course, just a reminder that any time of the year we have to remember our four-legged friends as well from Peoria Animal Welfare Shelter. Toby and Tess. Toby and Tess represent the unwanted animals of the community, and they demonstrate responsible pet ownership. And, of course, Paws is what that is all about. So they're with us again today, as is the Looney Tunes Town.
Looney Tune Town. I kind of like that. Jim McComb Chevrolet Geo would like to welcome you to Peoria's own Looney Tune Town. Some of our favorite storybook characters accompany this great cartoon float. Mickey, Sylvester, Donald, many more. This colorful creation was a group effort from the Pekin Chamber of Commerce and the Pace Group that restored the unit 5 years ago.
Mickey sitting in his red car with blue and green houses, and he's, of course, the whole float is decorated in gold and red. So it is quite a colorful...
Sylvester and Donald.
And they're all decked out as well. Many of the cartoon characters walking alongside.
Kickapoo Council of the Girl Scouts wishing everyone a joyous holiday season. We have Brownie Troop 253, a spectacular reason to celebrate the season. These girls are third graders from Boland School in East Peoria. They also have Jeffrey Giraffe from Toys R Us.
I see him waving at everybody.
The Brownies are dressed to depict the nativity scene to show the reason we celebrate Christmas. It's their 4th year in the parade, sponsored by Toys R Us. The mule is donated by P&S Pack in Canton, and I seem to be missing the mule, so I think the mule is hiding. Oh, there's the mule.
There's the mule
is back there with Mary.
There.
Mary and Joseph are taking the mule.
Yes, there.
Lovely nativity scene. The kids have quite the costumes on, looking like the 3 wise men and shepherds and Mary and Joseph. They're very cute.
Coming up, this is something that you can hear on radio and see here on television. That trolley sound is unmistakable, and probably you've seen this trolley driving around town. GP Transit, the holiday trolley. Look for it during the holiday shopping season at area shopping centers. They'll be running today and every Saturday from now through the end of December. And, of course, it's all dressed up in its garland and the various Christmas colors as well. But you see that throughout the year, especially in the summertime.
Have you ever ridden on that? It's really neat.
It's really fun. Yeah, I've been on it once.
Fun.
Yes, and you see it in parades from time to time as well. So, you know, if you get a chance to jump on that, it is a lot of fun. I think some people even have rented it out.
Yeah. Oh, it would be really neat. Get married on that or something. That'd
There
be
you
really
go.
cool. Peoria, Notre Dame Marching Irish. 56 kids in band, 5 in the Irish Guard. Monica Tote is the drum major. School colors are navy white and Kelly green. And they have a flute student, Ann Smolin, who was selected by audition to perform in the National Wind Ensemble at Carnegie Hall. You know what they say, practice, practice, practice.
That's
Get you to
right.
Carnegie
What an
Hall.
honor.
And let's listen to all their practice and hard work.
Peoria Notre Dame Marching Irish there. You know, Chuck Collins is down there street side, and Chuck, one of your favorite folks there from the post office coming into view. Of course, they're busy folks this time of the year, right? Okay, Chuck, I guess we're having a little trouble with your microphone here. We're going to have to come back to you. Oh, that's too bad.
Yes, Brian Wagner
Yeah,
from the
Brian
post
Wagner.
office. And the Peoria Post Office recently received the Governor's Pollution Prevention Award for the conversion of over 100 vehicles to compressed natural gas. The conversion resulted in the reduction of 542.2 tons of carbon monoxide emissions last year.
Yeah, and of course...
So this year, be nice and be friendly to all your post office
they're doing
people.
their best to try to get all the mail out, and of course they always say mail early, right? And they do have their traditional post car there, which has got the wreath on the front and garland along the side, and does look quite attractive
lots of
today.
candy. I don't know if that's traditional to have all the candy.
I don't know.
Fraternal Order of Eagles in the Auxiliary was the night before Christmas. Family room setting of Christmas Eve with mother and father reading the night before Christmas to their children gathered around the Christmas tree. FOE 265 is part of a national organization. Throughout the year, they have benefits for cancer, heart, and crippled children. For the national effort, locally, they have held benefits for DARE and the Limestone Fire Department. They are people helping people. Oh, and they're all in their pajamas. It was the night before Christmas.
With the Christmas tree there and all the
comfy.
packages around there.
Rocking chairs and beautifully decorated tree and packages and visions of sugar plum fairies dancing in someone's head.
That's right. They put in a lot of effort on that particular float.
And here comes the WMBD 1470 AM radio van, red and white. A little Christmas tree on the front of it and some garland on the side. Our own Greg Masters is
Hometown Radio Show.
Hometown Radio.
He's probably listening to us right there in the truck because we are telecasting. You're listening to us, aren't you, kiddo? I thought so, because we're telecasting today on CBS 31, but simulcasting on 1470 WMBD Radio.
We're hearing ourselves on the radio right now. That's a scary thought.
Greg, good to see you.
And here comes an interesting conglomeration. It's 3 men, or more accurately, 3 people, although it looks like 4 in a tub. I don't think these people can get it right, but it's the morning mix, and they're kind of crazy and loud.
Yeah.
We're never sure what they are going to do.
2 men and a woman up there, because Bianca Tyler's up there and Darren Adams is up there.
And Doc Watson. And we have another person up there who I'm trying to figure out. Oh, that would be Brent Lontine with his son.
Lontine is
Dylan.
up there.
I'm sitting there like, okay, there's a baby. What's he got to do? That would be Dylan along with Brent and Brent's wife, Julie. So on top of the 3 men in a tub. And they are being preceded by the people from, it's a Pace Float.
It's Pace
And
Float.
the Dunlap High School Key Club members
There
are
they
doing
are, walking down the street. Boy, it's nice to have them with us again today. But yes, our own morning mix group.
There's another float for you, Bob, way up there high on the on the tub. I'm not sure we get you. All the soap bubbles are made out of balloons, and we got bars of soap.
Well, here's Brent will have to have. Yep, he's letting Jim Snyder shoot a picture of his son here.
Yeah, not too much of the proud father.
Hey, yeah. Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. First year on the parade, too, for his son, too.
And Bianca, too.
Yeah, and Bianca, too. Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. From the morning mix and our own newsroom.
A little bit of everything going on there. Peoria Obedience Training Club. Dogs of all ages, levels of training, and sports include obedience, flyball, conformation, and agility. The POTC has participated in the parade since the days of Block and Cool. The club has served the Peoria area for more than 50 years with more than 100 active members from all over Central. Look at these dogs.
Yeah, they're right there in Pottstown, right on the west side of town. And, as I said, they've been active. A lot of folks...
Golden Retrievers, you got little terriers, black labs. My dog, forget it. There's no way.
No way.
One of my dogs.
But look at how well trained they are, and every year I'm always impressed by that.
My dogs need this.
Yeah. What I always say is the 4-legged teach the 2-legged ones. In our house, that's the way it works.
Training whom? Yes.
Yeah, that's about right. But I do tip my hat to them because they do have some great dogs. And look, they're all decorated. Some of them in red, some of them in lavender, some of them in...
With antlers?
Oh, with antlers. All trying to be in the Christmas spirit here.
Dog antlers. Gotta love that.
Yeah, gotta love that.
Before. Coming up next, the Peoria Area Convention and Visitors Bureau making a child's holiday spectacular. It's Christmas Eve. The tree is trimmed, the presents are wrapped, and we're waiting for Santa. They're making a child's holiday spectacular. The toys donated by PACVB and staff and members will be given to the Toys for Tots campaign throughout the area. A wonderful cause.
And they've got
every child has a toy.
The truck pulling that particular float has all kinds of packages in it. I think some of the kids were wondering if they're going to throw the packages out, but I don't think they're going to do that. And, of course, we've mentioned for 40 years, Southside Bank, CBS 31 have been partners in bringing you this telecast. Now this year, the radio cast as well. And so we tip our hats to Southside Bank. Pat Ward and his group have been busy as well. And, boy, a beautiful float here today. White. They have purple and just all kinds of great colors on that particular float this year. And look at the tremendous job they did in making a wintry scene as it passes by our vantage point
holiday
here.
dazzle. And they remind everyone that building these floats could be a full-time job in and of itself. So hats off to them, because the people at the bank work to get these floats made, in addition to doing all the other stuff and meeting all the needs of their customers.
That's for sure. And as I said, it takes a lot of time to put all of the all that paper mache and everything else together, and all of the different things that it takes to put the float together.
And the bears.
Yeah, and the bears. So we wish everybody a happy holiday season from the good folks at Southside Bank.
Here's another one of those quiet units. The Greater Peoria Crime Stoppers, McGruff, and the 12 police agencies are escorting McGruff the crime dog, along with volunteer board members, to remind you to help take a bite out of crime. Since 1982, 1,986 cases have been solved, resulting in $2.5 million in total property and drugs recovered, and $214,000 in rewards paid out for that one. So it's a fantastic, the Crime Stoppers program, a fantastic program. You can hear all the police agencies in their squad cars.
Yeah.
Quiet bunch.
They even have the Christmas adornment on their cars as well, trying to get into the Christmas spirit there, waving at the crowd. You're right, you can't mistake them being in the parade here today.
And coming up, bringing up the rear is McGruff the crime dog in his train, smoke billowing from the engine down there.
Yeah, you can, and of course, Crime Stoppers is a vital part of law enforcement, as you said, Shelley, because you know, this has been a very important program since it started.
Well, look at the units. You got Tazewell County, Woodford County.
We say the state police. There they are.
You got the Bradley University Police Department is out here. Pekin is represented. We have Metamora is coming into view. All these squad cars. It shows how they work together on the Crime Stoppers program. And, of course, the Peoria Police Department in here making their presence known.
That's right. Obviously trying to give the crowd a presence. I think this is the first year I remember so many squad cars from so many different departments, but obviously trying to show that it's a concerted effort, whether it's Metamora, Washington, Pekin, or Peoria County. They're all working together for one common cause.
And McGruff is smoking in the rear here, being accompanied by some elves. He's got his little train going, his 911 train, the Polar Express, a gray train with a black smokestack with smoke coming out of it. And McGruff, the crime dog, of course, in his standard trench coat and scarf.
That's right. Maybe they're trying to smoke out some criminals
there
here.
You go.
There we go. We'll try to add some relevance to this. Police Ranger Division as well. So, as I said, we even have more squad cars in behind here. So,
my goodness.
Yeah, once they come into view, let's see. Where's this one
We got
from?
Eureka coming in, the Peoria Heights
coming
Police
in,
Department.
Peoria Heights. That's right.
We say hi to all of them.
We want to wish all those communities well.
And bringing up the rear for the police squad, Green Valley.
Green Valley. Well, we're glad that they're up here.
Thank you very much for making the trip to join us today. And you know, these kids behind them, their ears are probably ringing. Not only are they a great group of kids playing music, but they're having to follow all the police units. The Roosevelt Magnet School Marching Band, students in grades 5 to 8. Some have only played for 1 year, and these students also sing, dance, and play in the orchestra. The group has even performed at Disneyland and for the governor, and now they're going to perform for us.
Wow. Roosevelt Magnet School has not been around all that many years. They are decorated today in their school colors and looking very spiffy in their, I guess that is orange and blue, and of course they have the orange and white stripe down their uniform, and they have their blue uniforms, their blue hats, looking very, very nice.
And their pom-pom squad following behind in their white sweatsuits with their orange and blue pom-poms.
I thought somebody's cell phone was ringing, but I think this is part of...
All sorts of noises going on out here.
Southside Bank, 75 years strong with 9 convenient locations, wishes you and yours a very great holiday season. And, of course, Southside Bank would like to congratulate all the hard workers and the volunteers who we know have put in their time for this year's 110th continuous, we want to put that word in there, continuous Santa Claus parade. And we'd also like to thank Chuck Collins, who's been, of course, street side there, giving us some color commentary, talking to some of the folks, getting a bird's eye view.
Clean teeth. He's going to brush things up for us, right, Chuck? You're going to...
My mic works. We had a little mic trouble, so I think we're back in the pink of things here. Yeah, a couple of teeth are going by. One of those looked familiar. Went to the dentist a couple of weeks ago. That looked familiar, by the way. But, no, brush your teeth. Yeah, brush your teeth. All around, up and down, 3 times a day.
We should say that...
Yeah, floss, too.
Floss, too.
There you go, floss, too. They're from the Peoria District Dental Society and Auxiliary, your Santa sleigh of spectacular smiles. Real wooden dental sleigh filled with children dentists, accompanied by pixies and happy teeth, passing out, of course, sugarless gum.
Oh, yes.
The hand-painted sleigh is by Dr. Chris Thompson, costumes made by the Auxiliary, and children dentists are from the dental families. The puppets are from the Adventures of Soup for Toothbrush.
And I see one of the kids is dressed as a Christmas tree. There are 2 of them are, actually.
They're not moving a lot. I think you get that Christmas tree outfit and then you stay.
Well, I wonder, probably feel a little prickly, too, with the...
Probably.
No, I guess... but they
a red sleigh with a toothbrush on the side, the super toothbrush.
Aha.
And,
oh, yeah. This is really nice looking. And, of course, the kids also... The ones that are dressed as Christmas trees also have the ornaments on them as well. Oh, somebody's taking our picture. Okay.
Who do we have next? We have Fox, the 94.3, the Fox, WFXF.
The Fox
Jerry
on the prowl.
Broyles in a blue 69 Camaro convertible. Good thing the weather's cooperating so that top can be down.
That's right, because as I said, I've seen all kinds of weather for these parades. This year, at least it has cooperated once we got the parade started, and we can't complain about temperatures here.
It's a rocking Fox. A Fox playing guitar. You don't see that very often.
No, you do not see that very often at well. Coming up next, what would be Christmas without a tree? And the Holiday Inn City Center is sponsoring this next load. Holiday Inn Toyland, large Christmas tree surrounded by toys. And I must tell you, it's just like a chapter out of The Night Before Christmas. We have Mrs. Santa Claus sitting there, and we have the toy soldier, all very colorful. About every color, and Jack in the Box has probably got a multitude of colors. I see orange and purple and blue, and very brightly...
and Rudolph up here with the Christmas tree in the back of the truck.
Brightly wrapped gifts there. And, of course, they have blue, red, and gold that surrounds the float. It is beautiful, and what a great work.
Absolutely.
Oh, it was great. And the Christmas tree is lit, too.
That's right. And they're followed by Christmas Around the World.
The theme for a Santa parade a few years ago, by the way.
It's a 25-foot globe. The globe reminds us that children from other countries have many holiday traditions like our Santa parade. Costumes from various countries are worn by various Richwoods High School Key Club members. We have dancing hula girls. We have little Dutch girls. All around the world, various costumes. The globe is built of a wood frame covered with wire mesh. It was hand-painted by Richie Juperi 5 years ago. When this and 6 other floats are reconstructed, it does rotate with a little man-made help.
Yeah, that's right. And again, we'd like to thank all of the Key Club members, all the high schools that participated, and all the volunteers that put in so much work in these floats and these units today. Our friends from WXCL are coming up and, love our show. Okay, great. A good and Merry Christmas to you folks, too, as well.
The crowd from WXCL, followed by the Pioneer Junior High School marching band, 7th grade band out of Dunlap. 53 of the 72 band members average B or higher, including 17 with straight A's. The Pioneer Music Program, band and chorus enroll almost 50% of the student body of the school.
That's pretty good.
Let's give them a listen. Who happens to be one of the band directors at Pioneer Junior High over there, marching alongside, keeping the kids in line.
And they've been with us for several years as well. An award-winning band they are, and we really appreciate them being here today. Now, here again, we go back in time, because coming up behind is a 1961 Studebaker from WOAM 1350. Boy, a Studebaker, a lot of people probably don't remember when they were making those things. I do.
That's in great
Studebaker
shape.
Lark convertible, yeah. And
so it has the hood up today, though.
yeah, it has the hood up. Yeah, that's right.
Green with a white roof and the
they have
wide white wall tires. They don't make them like that anymore. Is their own Ed Hammond?
Ed Hammond there. Hey, Ed, how you doing?
OEM?
Good to see him. But, yeah, you don't see those kind of... But coming up here, you don't see Rudolph. This is Rudolph, and Rudolph's nose is red, so is the truck. And, boy, what a truck.
This is the monster truck from John Deere's Auto Mall. Rudolph Truck. Driver is Kevin Gronwald. Riding in the bed, Ed Shea, Matt Nauman with his son Richie, Dave Roth with his son Casey, and Mark Shear with his son Taylor.
And
well, you need a big ladder to get up there.
And I got to tell you, that monster truck went by, it just rattled everything here. I mean, the vibration from that thing. You want to get out of the way of that thing.
Yeah, those tires are, I wouldn't want to have to change one of those on the side of the interstate.
That's right. Here comes a little trumpeting angel coming down the street. And I wonder if they had a devil of a time getting the 2,500 lights on this particular unit. This is, of course, the trumpeting angel in gold, white, and yellow with blue eyes and beautiful float being pulled there by the truck.
Sponsored by Arby's. It's 11 feet high. It was created by Ed Shirley and family. It has 2,500 lights. Man, amazing.
And what would be Christmas without Community Children's Theater? And Pinocchio is the name of our unit coming up. Pinocchio, of course, this year's performance by Community Children's Theater. That'll be from December 26th to 29th if you want to mark your calendar. Here's a sample of what you'll see at Peoria Players Theater. The workshop by Geppetto, Pinocchio's father, and many of the favorite characters. It's pulled by a Jim McComb Chevrolet vehicle. The director of the show is Don Lane, starring 50 young people in age from 8 to 18.
And tickets, of course, are on sale at the Glen Oak Pavilion. This is the second year the Community Children's Theater has worked with Pace to bring us this float. Everybody looking quite festive in their Pinocchio characters. Up next, the Navy Club of Peoria, Ship 34. They have banner carriers, color guards, sea cadets, and a van pulling a replica of an aircraft carrier. They represent the Navy Club of Peoria and Peoria Heights. They are a social club for veterans from the Navy. Come out and see them, and they wish everyone a Merry Christmas.
Yes, and we're glad to have a branch of the service here with us today, U.S. Navy, a Peoria company. And again, we're thankful that all of the rain has stopped. Chuck Collins is standing by out there right now. And, Chuck, you've done good work here today.
Well, I'm trying, Bob. You know, I see Santa. I see him already.
Can you really? From where you're standing,
he's
huh?
trucking. Even with that big truck in the way, he's coming on down, so it won't be long. Santa's on the way.
Chuck, how are everybody's been enjoying off to the side there? I know you've been standing with several of your friends there.
Oh, yeah, they've been great. And speaking of first, my son Ian, this is his first Santa Claus parade. He was too little last year, but he's here, and actually those were his reindeer ears I borrowed, by the way.
Okay.
Oh, sure, Chuck. Go ahead and tell everyone that.
Yeah,
We'll let you get by with that
that's your
one.
story, right?
Coming
Okay.
up next to Chuck right now, the Concordia Lutheran Grade School Band from Peoria. The band, flag, and honor guard has received many awards and honors through the years. It was the first band from Illinois invited to participate in the National Cherry Blossom Festival in Washington, D.C. Also the first grade school ever to do so. The students are 4th through 8th grade. Mr. Adam Schneblin is the new band director. He leads the Cougars, decked in their dress uniforms in the school colors of maroon and gold. Let's give them a listen.
Doing Hark the Herald Angels Sing, a traditional, of course, Christmas song, and glad to have them with us again this year.
The Concordia Lutheran Marching Band.
And, of course, coming up right behind them is the circus wagon, and we welcome back a Peoria tradition. Oh, yeah, I want to mention that Crumbo the Clown, that's Factory Hines there from Aquaka, Illinois. And Aquaka is, of course, over along the Mississippi River, and this is a 1911 Model T mini truck. It can blow smoke right up and it can blow up a storm. Let's hope it doesn't blow up a storm.
And the truck is pushing a Bigfoot. I'm trying to figure this one out.
Wow.
Crumbo the Clown on
Who's
the
pulling who,
1911 Model T mini truck pushing a Bigfoot in front of him. He appears at many parades all around the Midwest and at racetracks, county fairs, and other events.
Now, that's right. We don't want to forget since he came all the way from Aquaka, Illinois. But now the circus wagon, and this has been something that has been a Peoria tradition. Jim McComb Chevrolet and Gio's circus wagon is a circus wagon representing those used in the parade back when Block and Cool actually was the full sponsor of the parade. Of course, the Block and Cool donated the circus wagons to Circus World Museum up in Baraboo, Wisconsin back in 1961.
And the gorilla, don't let the gorilla get loose. It's going to try to get Chuck down there. Watch out. The gorilla, they're keeping him in there.
Hey, yeah, watch out.
Yeah.
People go ape if that gorilla gets out. Okay, well, enough of that.
Up next, we have another one of our horse units. Actually, we have the Peoria County Sheriff's Department, Chuck Schofield. The carriage is driven by John Ludolph. There's Chuck riding up in a carriage. He doesn't get escorted around very much like this. They have one of their Jeeps leading the way, and then Sheriff Chuck Schofield is over in a carriage.
And you don't see Chuck too much in a Santa hat often either, do you?
Not very often.